Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, we'll start with the pranam prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगल्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. So today we are discussing verse 9 from chapter 15 of first canto. So let me share the screen with the verse. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1, Chapter 15, Verse 9. यत्तेजसा नृपशिरोऽङ्घ्रिम् अहन्मखार्थम् हार्योऽनुजस्तव गजायुतसत्त्ववीर्यः तेनाहृताः प्रमथनाथमखाय भूपा यन्मोचितास्तदनयं बलिमध्वरेते यत्तेजसा नृपशिरोऽङ्घ्रिमहन्मखार्थम् आर्योऽनुजस्तव गजायुतसत्त्ववीर्यः तेनाहृताः प्रमथनाथमखाय भूपा यन्मोचितास्तदनयन् बलिमध्वरेते यत्तेजसा नृपशिरोऽङ्घ्रिमहन्मखार्थम् आर्योऽनुजस्तव गजायुतसत्त्ववीर्यः तेनाहृताः प्रमथनाथमखाय भूपा यन्मोचितास्तदनयं बलिमध्वरेते. Anyone would like to chant?
I can try, Prabhu, but you have to help me, Prabhu.
Please, Mataji.
यत्तेजसा नृपशिरो नृगरीम् अहं मकार्तम् आर्यो नुजस्तव गजायुतसत्त्ववीर्यः तेनार्ता प्रमथनात् मखाय भूप यन्मोचितास्तद् अन्यन् balim advarete. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. You did it nicely.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody else?
I'll give it a try, Prabhu. Thank
Yes,
you.
please.
Yattejasa nrupasina sira anugraham ahan maka ardam arya aryo anuja tava gaja ayuta sattva virya tena ahruta pramadanata makaya bhupa yatmochita tat anayan balim advare the. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. So we will read the synonyms. Yat whose Tejasa by influence, Nripashira Angrim, one whose feet are adored by the heads of kings. Ahan killed, Makartham for the sacrifice. Arya respectable, Anuja younger brother, Tava your, Gaja Ayuta 10,000 elephants. Gajayuta. Sattvavirya powerful existence, Tena by him, Ahritaha collected. Pramathanatha, the lord of the ghosts, Mahabhairava. Makhaya for sacrifice, Bhupaha kings, Yatmochitaha by whom they were released, Tadanayan all of them brought, Balim taxes, Advare presented, they your. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: Your respectable younger brother, who possesses the strength of 10,000 elephants, killed by his grace Jarasandha, whose feet were worshipped by many kings. These kings had been brought for sacrifice in Jarasandha's Mahabhairava Yajna, but they were thus released. Later, they paid tribute to your majesty. So Arjuna is speaking to Maharaj Yudhishthira about pretty much Krishna's glories while Krishna already left this material world in that anxiety and very difficult situation. So it's a long purport, but let's see. Purport: Jarasandha was a very powerful king of Magadha, and the history of his birth and activities is also very interesting. His father, King Brihadratha, was also a very prosperous and powerful king of Magadha, but he had no son, although he married two daughters of the king of Kashi. Being disappointed in not getting a son from either of the two queens, the king, along with his wives, left home to live in the forest for austerities. But in the forest, he was benedicted by one great rishi to have a son, and he gave him one mango to be eaten by the queens. So one mango will be shared by two queens. The queens did so and were very soon pregnant. The king was very happy to see the queens bearing children, but when the ripe time approached, the queens delivered one child in two parts, one from each of the queen's wombs. So half of the body comes from one queen, the other half came from the other queen. Very interesting birth. The two parts were thrown in the forest because the king thought, what is the use of two parts? This child is no more going to live like a child. It's like a dead parts, something like that. So he, with disappointment, of course, threw the two pieces in the forest. Now were thrown in the forest where a great she-demon used to live, and she was glad to have some delicate flesh and blood from the newly born child. Out of curiosity, she joined the two parts, and the child became complete and regained life. The she-demon was known as Jara, and being compassionate on the childless king, she went to the king and presented him with the nice child. The king was very pleased with the she-demon and wanted to reward her according to her desire. The she-demon expressed her desire that the child be named after her, and thus the child was surnamed Jarasandha, or one who was joined by Jara, the she-demon. Sandha means joining. In fact, this Jarasandha was born as one of the parts and parcels of the demon Viprachiti. So he has a past which caused him to be born as a demoniac, or he had the demoniac mentality while he was taking birth. Because of this, he was part of another demon, Viprachiti. The saint by whose benedictions the queens bore the child was called Chandra Kaushika, who foretold of the child before his father Brihadratha. So his father knew that this history is there with this child. It is very painful to hear that the child is, child has a demoniac mentality due to whatever karmic reasons. Now continuing, since Jarasandha possessed demoniac qualities from birth, naturally he became a great devotee of Lord Shiva, the lord of all ghostly and demoniac men. Ravana was a great devotee of Shiva, and so also Jarasandha. He used to sacrifice all arrested kings before Lord Mahabhairava or Shiva, and by his military power he defeated many small kings and arrested them to butcher before Mahabhairava. There are many devotees of Lord Mahabhairava or Kalabhairava in the province of Bihar, formerly called Magadha. Jarasandha was a relative of Kamsa, the maternal uncle of Krishna, because Kamsa married the daughters of Jarasandha. So, and therefore, after Kamsa's death, King Jarasandha became a great enemy of Krishna. And there were many fights between Jarasandha and Krishna. Lord Krishna wanted to kill him, but he also wanted that those who served as military men for Jarasandha might not be killed, because those who served as military men were those nice kings, pious kings, who were arrested by Jarasandha and they were forced to support Jarasandha in the battle. So Krishna did not want them to be killed. So Krishna thought he will not kill Jarasandha in that battle. So therefore a plan was adopted to kill him, means Jarasandha, kill Jarasandha. Now this plan, later it's described, this plan was provided by Uddhava, of course, by the empowerment of Krishna. Uddhava told Krishna, this is a nice plan, please do this. The plan is Krishna, Bhima and Arjuna together went to Jarasandha in the dress of poor Brahmanas and begged charity from King Jarasandha. Jarasandha never refused charity to any Brahmana, and he performed many sacrifices also. Yet he was not on a par with devotional service. Complete two extremes. He was a demoniac person, but he executed sacrifices, he gave charity to Brahmanas, etc. But he never executed devotional service to Krishna. So Lord Krishna, Bhima and Arjuna asked Jarasandha for the facility of fighting him, and it was settled that Jarasandha would fight with Bhima only. So all of them were both guests and combatants of Jarasandha, and Bhima and Jarasandha fought every day for several days. Bhima became disappointed, but Krishna gave him hints about Jarasandha's being joined together as an infant, and thus Bhima dissected him again and so killed him. The way he was born, same way he was, he got killed also, or he took accepted death in the same way. All the kings who were detained in the concentration camp to be killed before Mahabhairava were thus released by Bhima, by the mercy of Krishna. Feeling thus obliged to the Pandavas, they paid tribute to King Yudhishthira. So this is the summary of Jarasandha's death. It's a long past time. And Arjuna is mentioning to Yudhishthira that your younger brother Bhima, he had a strength of 10,000 elephants. So there are two things here. He was very strong. 10,000 elephants means not silly. One elephant itself is really great. And 10,000, not 10,000 elephants. This was a boon Bhima received. Now that Bhima killed Jarasandha, but there is a very important aspect Arjuna mentions. By his grace, capital H, which is Krishna. So by Krishna's grace only Bhima was able to kill, even though Bhima was so strong. And this Jarasandha was a personality king whose feet were worshipped by many kings. And these kings, they were arrested and brought to Jarasandha, and Jarasandha kept them for sacrifice in Mahabhairava Yajna. But since Bhima was able to kill Jarasandha, all these kings were released, and they were very grateful to Krishna, because of Krishna they got released. Even though Bhima was in the front in killing Jarasandha, but Krishna empowered Bhima to kill and release these kings. So they all paid tribute to Krishna. That's what Arjuna is telling. And even to Yudhishthira. Now, Jarasandha's life, as we have seen here, his birth is really unique. Two mothers giving birth to half body, and then a demoniac or she-demon Jara joining these two parts, and then he became a normal human child. But he was very demoniac right from birth, as mentioned here. Now his demoniac activities were very, very strong, to the extent that, yes, normally kings will have the tendency to conquer other kings. But he was not only conquering, but he was bringing them, arresting them, and giving them in sacrifice to Lord Mahabhairava. This was like too cruel. So this is a person, Jarasandha, and very, very cruel person. And he was very strong also. As we can see, he was fighting with Bhima, and Bhima could not defeat him. He was that strong. And because of that, he was very powerful, and he was able to conquer so many kings. So the whole pastime, Krishna, of course, as we know, Krishna had a fight with Jarasandha 17 times. And 17 times Jarasandha brought this Akshauhini, the armies, and Krishna killed all of them. So along with Jarasandha, a lot of his friends who are also demoniac, they came. And Krishna came to this material world to annihilate the demons. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam. So he did that, except Jarasandha's case. He did not kill Jarasandha, he left him 17 times. But last time, 18th time, Krishna sort of, he went away from the battlefield, and he went to Dwaraka. And then Jarasandha took that as a victory. I won against Krishna. So Krishna had a plan. And that plan was orchestrated by Uddhava. This is like Krishna is empowering Uddhava, and Uddhava is mentioning Krishna. When Yudhishthira Maharaj wanted to do Rajasuya Yajna. So that's where it all started. Now, again, Uddhava's empowered Uddhava mentioned these things. Rajasuya Yajna requires the king to conquer all other kings in the universe. And this Jarasandha is very powerful. So through this Rajasuya Yajna, or getting preparation for Rajasuya Yajna, we can conquer Jarasandha and kill him. That's a good plan. And he also mentioned the plan, you along with Arjuna and Bhima, disguise in the form of Brahmanas and go there, because Jarasandha is very respectful to the Brahmanas. And then you can request for a fight, and then Bhima can kill. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj requested Krishna, or asked permission to do this sacrifice, Rajasuya Yajna, Krishna gave permission. Now Yudhishthira's plan was not to become very famous. The purpose of Rajasuya Yajna is to show the supremacy of the king, that I am the greatest of all kings. So I am the emperor, Chakravarti. So for that, he has to conquer all the kings. But Yudhishthira had different plan in mind. He mentioned that to Krishna also. I want to show everyone, including the demigods, that you are the supreme. Even the demigods are under you. Because demigods will be invited, many kings will be invited. And my purpose of doing Rajasuya Yajna is to give this particular aspect. Like Krishna, you are the Supreme Lord. Everyone has to understand and get convinced. Foolish persons, they think that you are a human being, ordinary human being. I want to change that, their attitude. So that was his purpose, and Krishna understood that, he's not proud, or he doesn't want to become famous. That was not his intention. So when Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Krishna, Krishna agreed, yes, you can go ahead and do the Rajasuya Yajna, but before you do the Rajasuya Yajna, you have to conquer all the kings. And then you have to get enough paraphernalia to do the Rajasuya Yajna. It's not a simple Yajna. So for that purpose, you have to bring in a lot of wealth and a lot of money, or different items are required. So all the kings, many kings, they have to support you. They have to bring, or they have to give taxes and very different items, etc. So Krishna asked Yudhishthira Maharaj to send 4 brothers, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva, to 4 directions: south, west, east, and north. And Krishna also empowered them so that they can either conquer, or conquering means not fighting, but first put the request that this is going to be happening. Rajasuya Yajna, Maharaj Yudhishthira is doing. So you will have to cooperate, provide the taxes and enough items, wealth. If someone doesn't agree with that, then fight with that king and then conquer him. That's the idea. So it's not that they are going to fight with every king. So in that aspect, all of them went to different directions. And because of Krishna's mercy, Krishna empowered all the 4 brothers of Yudhishthira Maharaj. They were able to conquer. So it is described that they are the sons of different demigods, the Pandavas. Yudhishthira Maharaj is son of Yamaraj, and Bhimasena. Bhima was born from the demigod Varuna, and Arjuna from Indra, and Nakula and Sahadeva from Ashwini Kumaras. So they have that qualification also. So they are great heroes. So Krishna actually empowered them, and they went and did whatever they wanted to do. And all the kings were very supportive, except one person, one king, who is Jarasandha. So the feedback came that Jarasandha is not supporting. So he has to be conquered. But Krishna had a plan to kill him at this moment, or in this situation. So Yudhishthira Maharaj was a bit worried, anxious, when Krishna told that I am going to take care of him, you don't worry. But Maharaj Yudhishthira initially told, maybe I'll give all my armies and you can take. But Krishna told, no, I don't want anyone except Arjuna and Bhima. 3 of us will go, we know how to, or I know how to deal with it, don't worry. So Krishna took Arjuna and Bhima with him, and then all 3 of them went to Magadha. Now they did not go in that attire, they took the form of Brahmanas, a simple dressing and things like that. So all 3 went to the kingdom of Yudhishthira Maharaj, kingdom of Jarasandha. And as soon as they entered, Jarasandha was very happy, because Brahmanas are visiting my place, and he would love to receive them and worship them and offer them whatever they asked. That was his mentality. Very interesting character. He is very demoniac. He is arresting pious kings and sacrificing them in front of Lord Kala Bhairava, Mahabhairava. But he is very respectful to Brahmanas. Of course, he is something like, if I respect Brahmana, I will get a lot of whatever gain, material gain, this, that. That was his mentality. And when he heard that 3 Brahmanas have come to my kingdom, he was very happy. And he was planning to give whatever they want. Because he was very dutiful. He never neglected the Vedic injunctions. At the same time, as mentioned in the purport, he never executed devotional service. So the original understanding of Veda is Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Veda ischa sarvair ahameva vedyo. By studying Vedas, I have to be known. But Jarasandha, he studied Vedas, he followed the rituals, the Vedic injunctions, but he kept Krishna as his enemy, right opposite. He did not understand who Krishna is, and he was considering Krishna as his enemy. So it's like 2 extremities, contradictions. But anyway, when Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhima went in the dress of Brahmanas, he was very happy, Jarasandha. And then, of course, Krishna in the dress of Brahmana said to the king, King Jarasandha, that we wish all glories to your majesty. And he praised Jarasandha. We are 3 guests coming from far distance, and we have come here to ask for charity. And then I hope that you will kindly give whatever we ask from you. So Jarasandha was very happy. In the beginning, he ordered for a lot of food items to be given to them. But Krishna told, no, we have come here not to eat different food items. We already had. We are not looking for that. We need something else, etc. Before that, Krishna actually glorified Jarasandha by mentioning many things. We know your qualities, good qualities. You are, tolerant, and even though you are distrustful, you are tolerant, and you are very charitable. You are a great personality. And for a great personality like you, there is no distinction between relatives and outsiders, meaning you consider outsiders as good as your own relatives. And then Krishna also gives some kind of hints that you are going to die, not directly. He did not get it, but he mentioned that a famous man lives forever, even after death. That means fame is more important than, or more glorious than death. Even if you die, at the cost of your death, you should do something which is going to give you fame. That is what Krishna is mentioning. He gave some examples of Harishchandra, Rantideva, another Shibi, and all. They almost sacrificed their life, for charity. So charity is very, very important. And as per Vedic system, as we know, charity is very important. So Jarasandha knew. So if one can attain imperishable name and fame by sacrificing his perishable body, that is very good, because body will perish anyway, but your fame will never perish. So if you give charity, whatever we ask, if you give, you are going to be very respectful. In this way, Krishna kind of conquered his mind. So Krishna was speaking in this way, along with Arjuna and Bhima. So by seeing them, Jarasandha got some doubts, because especially Bhima, his figure is not similar to a Brahmana's figure. We know Sudama Brahmana, how he was looking. Of course, he was an extreme case. But usually Brahmanas will not look like Kshatriyas with muscles and big body. That is not there. And Arjuna as well, and Bhishma. And then Arjuna used to carry the bow and arrows. And then on shoulders, there will be marks of the bows, etc. So he could see all those things. He could see the symptoms of Kshatriyas in their body. All 3. Krishna was also living in Dwaraka as a Kshatriya. So there were signs of their bodies which Jarasandha could understand, or he got a doubt, they are Kshatriyas. But of course, he did not, debate or clarify. But he concluded that they were not Brahmanas, but Kshatriyas. But by hearing Krishna's words, fame is nice. The imperishable name and fame is most important than the perishable body, etc. So he thought, yes, under this circumstance, I am prepared to give them anything because I'm going to get fame. Again, that is one of his contamination, looking for fame. So even if they ask my body, I'm going to offer it to them. In that way, he was thinking, and then he mentioned to them, yes, you can ask whatever you want, I will give you. So it is my strong determination. Jarasandha was thinking like that. So because he was very liberal to Brahmanas, he used to give anything and everything to Brahmanas, but no one has asked like this before, which Krishna is going to ask. He did not think that way also. So Jarasandha told Krishna, my dear Brahmanas, all of them, you can ask whatever you like. You can take my head also. I am prepared to give it. So Krishna addressed Jarasandha and told the reality that please note that we are not actually Brahmanas. Now Krishna is coming to the point. And nor have we come to ask for foodstuffs or grains like other Brahmanas do. We are Kshatriyas, and we have come to beg a duel or fight with you. We want to see you fighting. And we hope that you agree to this proposal. That's what Krishna told. He also mentioned that here is second son of King Pandu, that is second of the five Pandavas, Bhimasena. And next to him is third son of Pandu, Arjuna. And myself, I am your old enemy. That's how Krishna addressed himself. I am your old enemy, Krishna, and I am also cousin of the Pandavas. So Lord Krishna disclosed these things. So Jarasandha actually externally started to laugh very loudly, but internally he was in great anger because he always hated Krishna. Right from beginning, Krishna killed Kamsa, and then his Jarasandha's daughters became widows. So Jarasandha was very, very angry with Krishna right from beginning. And now also he got angry very much. But he was laughing in the way demons laugh sometimes, but they have a lot of anger. So he called them fools, and he wanted to kind of show that he was very powerful. Even he was more powerful than Krishna and Arjuna, at least. So he told, yes, if you want to fight with me, I immediately grant your request, but I don't want to fight with you, Krishna. You are a coward. You kind of got confused when I was fighting with you before, and you ran away from the fight out of fear of me. Even you left from Mathura and then you hid within the sea. Now he went to Dwarka. Krishna was in Mathura. He had fighting with Jarasandha, and then later he moved to Dwarka, as we know. So Jarasandha is using those. Even Jarasandha mentioned that I defeated you many times. Even though we know Krishna defeated Jarasandha without killing him, but Jarasandha is took that in the other way, and then teasing Krishna that I am not or you are not qualified to fight with me. So I am not going to fight with you, Krishna. Now he spoke to Arjuna, and he mentioned that you are like, not like, you are younger than me, and you are not an equal fighter. You are not as strong as me also, because since you are not as strong as me, that's why you are carrying the bows and arrows. You got skilled in this, using the bows and arrows, because you are not very strong. Bodily strength is not enough. So you are afraid of fighting the way I am fighting. So you are not qualified to fight with me as well. Now, as far as Bhimasena, I agree that he is a suitable competitor to fight with me. So I will fight only with Bhimasena. If you agree that, I'm okay. So Krishna actually wanted that only. Krishna wanted Bhimasena to fight with Jarasandha. And finally, both of them agreed, Jarasandha and Bhima. And then Jarasandha took a club and then threw it to Bhima. Take this. And then he also took his own another club. And then they started fighting. So it was a very, very special fight. Now Jarasandha was in his own country, his own palace. So he had all of his armies with him. He could have used his armies and tried to kill Krishna, Arjuna, and Bhimasena, but he did not do that because he wanted to showcase that he himself is very powerful and he alone can defeat Bhimasena. He wanted to do that or convince or prove. So he did not call any of the armies. He was fighting alone with Bhima. And this was very interesting fight. Both of them wanted to show their skills in the club, how to use the club in different ways, and they were eager to fight also. So it was a very adventurous fight. Both of them were using different tricks which they have learned to defeat the other person. And then the clubs were colliding each other, and it was sounded like big tusks of two elephants are hitting each other, or thunderbolt, and people were very afraid to see the fight. And the fight was going on, keep on going on for many days, 27 days. So each day, at the end of the fight, evening, they were allowed, Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna were allowed, or they were given nice place to stay. So Jarasandha is, as Duryodhana did in the Kurukshetra battle. After the fight, evening time, they were like friends, mingling with each other formally and properly. So that used to happen every day. And then they were fighting, but no conclusion. Neither Jarasandha nor Bhima became fatigued also. So they could not defeat the other person. So 27 days went in this way. So 28th day, Bhimasena was worried that I am not able to, even Bhima also got a little bit of, he thought he could fight, he could defeat Jarasandha, but he could not. So he was worried and he told Krishna, my dear Krishna, now I admit that I cannot conquer Jarasandha. You please help me. What should I do? So Krishna knew the mystery of birth of Jarasandha, as we read in the purport. So he was born in two different parts and he was joined by Jara. So the only way to kill Jarasandha was to separate him in that way, vertically separate him out into two pieces. So he gave the hint to Bhimasena by taking a twig of a tree. So he, little analogy, that way he showed Bhimasena that you just bifurcate in this way. So Bhimasena understood what Krishna is telling. This is like a hint, right? Sometimes we have messages between two people. If Kshatriyas, they'll have a particular way to communicate, which others may not understand. Now Krishna just picked up a twig and threw that in two pieces. Common man may not get anything. Sometimes we do that while chit-chatting with some other person. But Bhimasena understood what, because he knew Krishna is going to help him. And at this moment, Krishna is showing this. That means he's asking me to do the same with Jarasandha. So in this way, Jarasandha can be killed. So ultimately, Bhima took shelter of Krishna, and then he followed the instruction of Krishna. If Krishna wants to kill someone, no one can save him. Or if Krishna wants to save someone, no one can kill him. So here Krishna wants Bhimasena to be saved, so Jarasandha could not kill him. And Krishna wanted Jarasandha to be killed. So Bhimasena was able to kill Jarasandha because Krishna wanted that to happen. So Bhimasena immediately took hold of the legs of Jarasandha and threw him to the ground. Now, when Jarasandha fell to the ground, Bhima pressed on one of the legs because he knew now all Bhima has to do is cut Jarasandha into two pieces, not horizontally but vertically, in the sense that one part will have one leg, one arm, one ear, one half of the nose, one eyes, etc. And other part will have similar. So he pressed on one of Jarasandha's legs. Now Bhima's pressing is like, we know one elephant pressing something means a lot of strength. This is 10,000 elephant pressing, that kind of strength. So Bhima pressed one leg of Jarasandha, and then he took hold of the other leg with his two hands, because now Bhima's leg is on Jarasandha's one of the leg. Now two hands are free for Bhimasena. So he, using his two hands, he took hold of the other leg of Jarasandha, and then he tore his body into two parts. In the middle of the body till the head, including the head, was tore into two parts. Similar to an elephant breaks the branches of a tree into two, Bhimasena separated the body of Jarasandha, and with so much of pain, he passed away. That was his end. As soon as this news went to the city of Magadha, because they were not fighting in the palace, for fighting Jarasandha took them to a further place. So they all felt sad, our king is no more now, and etc. Now Lord Krishna, along with Arjuna and Bhimasena, of course, they congratulated Bhimasena, etc. And then they came back to the palace of Jarasandha. Now Krishna could have taken charge of the palace, but he did not want the palace. He just wanted to kill Jarasandha so that Rajasuya sacrifice can happen. And also demoniac person is dead. Now all those kings, nice kings, can be relieved. So Krishna approached the son of Jarasandha. His name was also Sahadeva. He was not as cruel as Jarasandha. He was a reasonably good king or princess. So he made all arrangements with due ritualistic ceremonies. He asked him to occupy the seat of Jarasandha, his father. So during that time, Sahadeva arranged nice clothes for all these, because they came in the Brahmana attire. So Sahadev gave all the kingly attires to Krishna. Bhima and Arjuna respected them nicely. And Krishna orchestrated all the ritualistic ceremonies, and Sahadeva became the king of Magadha. And then, of course, Krishna, along with Arjuna and Bhimasena, came back to Indraprastha. And then Rajasuya sacrifice happened, the way we understand. Now, there are many lessons to learn from this. Why, first of all, Jarasandha, he was very respectful to the Brahmanas. Many people are respectful to the Brahmanas. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. But that was not the reason. In this verse, it is mentioned that Krishna loves the Brahmanas and cows. He always do favors to the Brahmanas. His very close friend Sudama Vipra, Sudama Brahman. So Krishna actually worshipped him, washed his feet, took the water and poured on his own head and his wives, etc. So that much respect he gives to the Brahmanas. But Jarasandha did not respect Brahmanas because Krishna loves Brahmana. That was not the reason. Krishna was his enemy, Jarasandha's. But he was respectful to Brahmanas just because, it is Vedic injunction and I get a lot of piety or material wealth and this, that. So he was very interesting character in that way. Very demoniac, but respectful to the Brahmanas. But that is not the right way to respect Brahmanas. Now, the same Jarasandha was very proud also. And he was very, very puffed up to the extent that he became a devotee of Lord Shiva without understanding who Lord Shiva is also. Just to get material wealth, strength, etc., he became a devotee of Lord Shiva and became the enemy of Lord Krishna, while Lord Shiva is a devotee of Krishna. So he is very, he studied Vedic scriptures probably, but he was not getting the essence of it. So we have to be also very careful when we study Vedic scriptures, when we do rituals, etc. The purpose is to please Krishna, samsiddhir haritoshanam. But if it is against Krishna's desire, even if we are, say, doing some Vedic ritual for whatever purpose, but if it is against Krishna's desire, Now, how do we know this is against Krishna's desire? Through Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or from the words of the Acharyas. We know what is favorable, what is not favorable. So while doing a Vedic ritual doesn't mean we are pleasing Krishna. It has to be according to Krishna's desire, that whatever Vedic rituals we do, otherwise it is very dangerous as well. Now, on the other side, Bhima was very devoted to Krishna. Still, he was not able to defeat Krishna. Finally, after 27 days, he realized that I have to take shelter of, he is a devotee of Krishna. He was already under the shelter of Krishna, but he had to remind himself, yes, I have to, with full enthusiasm, determination, specifically, exclusively take shelter of Krishna, instead of thinking I can defeat Jarasandha, the doership mentality. So as soon as he took shelter of Krishna, immediately things were resolved. Krishna gave the plan, Bhima executed that, and everything is completely done. Arjuna also mentioned this later after Krishna left. Arjuna was not able to defeat some cowherd boys. When Arjuna was taking the wives of Krishna as per instruction, but Arjuna was not able to defeat these some cowherd boys. They were very simple people. And Arjuna realized that I have the same body, the same Arjuna is there with full strength, at least looking. The same bow, same arrows, same hands of Arjuna, everything was there. Before I was able to use these things against the Kaurava army, the whole battlefield, I was the hero, and I was able to kill because Krishna was with me. But now the same arrows and bow and the same myself, I couldn't defeat these simple cowherd boys because Krishna is not with me. So the importance of having Krishna is very, very significant here. Bhima also understood that in this pastime. And these kings who were in the prison house, so after killing Jarasandha, the kings were released by Krishna. It is described that they were put in a dark room, of course, prison house. So as soon as Krishna opened the doors and the sunlight came into the dark room, so the light came. But more than that, Krishna's effulgence were giving light to them. They were very happy and they offered many prayers. They were very humble also. They mentioned that, if we had not been into the prison house, we would not have got this very rare opportunity of your darshan. We were able to see you now because we were put in the prison house. Also, they mentioned that in the prison house, we were very distressed. So we offered many prayers to you. And then they were humble enough to say that we are not qualified even to glorify you. We were, the analogy gave that in that situation is we were trying to glorify a king, but we were actually glorifying a landlord. Instead of glorifying a king like a king to be glorified, we were trying to glorify a king, but with the glories which is to be given to a small landlord, which is less glorious. Like that, we are trying to glorify you, but we are not able to glorify to the full extent. But we are trying to offer the prayers because of your mercy. They mentioned that. And they also mentioned, since we were put in the distressful condition, we were more feeling like taking shelter of you. If we were still in our kingdom where we had all the opulence, Janma Ishwarya Sruta, as Kunti Mataji mentioned, Kunti's prayers, if one is not materially distressed, one cannot take full shelter of Krishna. So we actually realized that we were under heavy distress and we were able to take shelter of you, dear Krishna. We are very grateful to that. So Krishna released all the kings and he mentioned that now you go back to your kingdom and rule the kingdom, but not under illusion that you are the king and you have the all opulence, and don't do that. Act in a mood of service to me. Surrender to me. In that mood of service to me, as a duty, you continue your kingly obligations, and ultimately you will attain me. That was the blessing Krishna gave to them. So this is also a lesson to us. We can do our duties, but as a mode of service to Krishna, as an offering to Krishna. Yat karoshi yad ajnasi yad juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpana. As an offering to Krishna, offering to me, Krishna mentioned, do all your duties. So that was very interesting lesson also. And then also Krishna was not looking for anything in this material world. He could have taken charge of the kingdom of Jarasandha, but he made his son, Jarasandha's son, as the king. That way he proves or convinces that I am not interested in anything in this material world. My only interest here is the devotees, love of the devotees. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya. He is looking for bhakti. Prabhupada mentions many times in lectures. Krishna has everything. He's not looking for some food from us. He's not looking for some money from us. He's not looking for some jewels or whatever whatever we can give in this material world. Maybe the richest person in this material world can give whatever in this material world. Krishna is more than that. He has everything. Everything belongs to him anyway. He's not looking for any of that. He's simply looking for love of the devotee, nothing else. So he's proving that here also. He did not want the Magadha kingdom. He gave that kingdom to Jarasandha's son only. And all these kings, he asks you, go back to your kingdom, take care of your kingdom. I don't want anything, etc. So that is a very nice lesson also. In this way, Krishna completed the life of Jarasandha in a very wonderful way. Here Arjuna is mentioning that by his grace, Krishna's grace, Jarasandha was killed by Maharaj Yudhishthira, your younger brother Bhima. That is the verse talking about. Again, the heart of this verse is his grace, Krishna's grace, Krishna's mercy. Without his mercy, nothing can happen. We need our endeavor, but Krishna's mercy is what making our endeavor success. Whatever is the success or whatever is the outcome, that is happening by Krishna's mercy. Without our endeavor, yes, it will not happen. But with our endeavor also, it will not happen. When Krishna's mercy touches our endeavor, that is the key aspect which makes everything work out. So I will stop here and request devotees to give your realizations. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for a wonderful
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
You went very depth on the Jarasandha aspect of it.
Your sound is very low, Prabhu.
Sorry, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah, now it is
Prabhu, for lecture, and you went very detailed on the Jarasandha aspect on the war. You covered a lot of details on this. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam.
Yeah, thank you. Dandavat Pranam. Very nice to hear from you. As always, it was very, very nice. And also the way you described the story, I think I was thinking maybe I can tell my kids now. I did not know the Jarasandha story in this much detail. So now I can, articulate to other people in detail. Thank you for actually enlightening us with the story.
I also liked when I read this preparing lecture, I was able to read and understand these details, the same as you were mentioning.
Okay, got it. So the question about Krishna moving away from Madura to Dwaraka, is that because of Jarasandha that he doesn't want so much of killing and all that happened because of since he keeps coming every year or whatever, so much resources are getting wasted and just the focus is not there on the administration and the welfare of the people, right? Is that the reason why he moved out?
That is one reason Krishna doesn't want Mathuravasis to suffer from these demoniac personalities, because when I am here, he will come, or other demons will come. So if I am not there, but again, Dwaraka is in his plan. It is not that Jarasandha caused Dwaraka to manifest. But that was Krishna's pastime. When he descends here, he had plans. He's executing that. Externally, the reasons could be different, but internal reasons, of course, Dwaraka pastime, and he's establishing 16,108 palaces in Dwaraka and many other things. So, yes, yes and no, but or yes, this plus other reasons.
Got it. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so if no more.
Thank you so
comment.
much for the classes, Prabhu. As Prabhu mentioned, very detailed story of Jarasandha. Then it also gives me an opportunity to talk to my daughter on what the story is actually. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we will stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। पिताय सच्चिदानंद देव की जय। समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. His case, Prema Vardhan, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.